Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News Refresh on Arizona PBS. I'm Caitlin Keenahan. Thank you for joining us. The Arizona Department of Health Services added 7,635 new coronavirus cases to its dashboard today. The department also reported 142 new COVID-related deaths. Both of those numbers are among the highest daily totals reported in the pandemic so far. Even more concerning is the state's ICU bed capacity. It's now at 93%, the fullest hospitals have been since March. But there may be some good news related to the virus. During a press conference this morning, Maricopa County Public Health Director Marcy Flanagan said out of the more than 1,000 vaccine doses given yesterday, only 11 people had an adverse reaction.
Those were mild reactions. The most were anxiety related, and they were individuals that were anxious, and this can be anytime individuals receive a vaccine. There's people that have fear of needles and all those sorts of things, and so those play into it and are also counted as reactions. So nothing that concerned us.
Flanagan says they started yesterday with just 2 distribution centers at less than full capacity to make sure things ran smoothly, but are starting to ramp up distribution. Arizona State University has canceled its 2021 spring break. ASU Provost Mark Searle sent out a statement Thursday afternoon saying the change will help prevent the spread of COVID-19. This comes after the state's other public universities, the University of Arizona and Northern Arizona University, made similar adjustments to their spring schedules. So many things have changed over the past several months, and with COVID-19 cases still on the rise, the holidays will be no exception. The Cronkite News Refresh team sat down to discuss how businesses and event organizers are adapting.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Reporters Roundtable. I'm Serena Raboyne, and today I'm here with Caitlin Keenahan and Amna Subhan. And today we're talking a little bit about how the pandemic has changed life, because let's be honest, life is different than it was last year. And Caitlin, I used to love going out to restaurants and dining in and really enjoying the atmosphere. Is that still the same now, or is it a little bit different?
Well, I can't agree with you more. I absolutely love going to restaurants. The atmosphere is everything. It's not the same. I mean, it's not the same as it was before pandemic, that's for sure. But the good thing is that restaurants and bars are open. They're just operating at 50% capacity. So it is definitely a little bit different. You can't really get up and walk around to different tables and say hi to people anymore. You know, you have to be a little bit more careful. But that's just something that we are learning to deal with pandemic. So the good thing is that the government is giving an option to restaurants and bars to be able to expand their patios or expand their premises so that they can be able to have a new dining area. And so the Safest Outside Restaurant Assistance Program will fund up to $10,000 for restaurants to be able to expand their premises. It's a great program, and a lot of restaurants and bars are taking advantage of this. So hopefully that will restore some normalcy to that.
Yeah, I can't imagine that it wouldn't. And, you know, everyone loves a good patio space, especially here in Arizona where the weather is great, you know, most of the year. Amna, you know, what I love watching at restaurants is my sports. Tell us, is sports the same? I mean, fans obviously have been, maybe they're allowed, maybe they're not. What's going on here in Arizona?
Yeah, it's looked different from different levels. High school looks one way, but professional level looks another. They really haven't allowed too many fans, and those who have been allowed to attend have been season ticket holders. And I was actually able to go and cover an event, which was big this time with the climate we're in. But the NASCAR championship came here in Avondale, and it looked very different. It felt very different, but fans were allowed to be in. They had about 8,000 fans and spread across those 42,000 seats. So it would a lot of empty seats, but people were able to go and enjoy it. And what I learned from the people who were talking there is they were just happy to be there and felt really lucky. Some of them had traveled from different states, and some of them went every year to this. So it was different, but they enjoyed it, and I was able to go and report on an actual sporting event, which I really enjoyed myself.
Of course. I mean, nothing is better than being there with your family and a nice hot dog and a nice soft drink. You know, that's what makes sporting events fun to go to, is the atmosphere. And I know with the holidays coming up and school being let out, that families probably don't have as many options to go out and do things as they did maybe in a pre-pandemic life. But let me tell you, I did some research and there's still some things left to do with your family, one of which is zoo lights. And zoo lights has been one of my family's biggest traditions this time of the year. It's gorgeous to walk through and you feel a nice little chill in the air and you can just kind of enjoy the night, right? And so the zoo is doing a cruise through the zoo kind of an event where you can have a car and you can stay inside your car and drive through and watch the zoo lights, which is amazing. And you get to have your little heated seat warmers. And then you have to crawl at a tortoise-like speed, which is 4 miles an hour. It can't be racing through like a cheetah. And so I think that's a great idea and kind of gets to have a little bit of normalcy of going to this very fun event on these special days where you can drive through zoo lights. And another, which is the Children's Museum of Phoenix, opens their outdoor exhibits to the public, and you can reserve sometimes buy tickets. And their indoor spaces are still closed, but their outdoor spaces are still like as fun. I mean, you're having a whole straw maze. You have a sliding sock arena where you can just slide on socks on a slippery surface, which is the best. And they even have a place where you can paint over an Alfa Romero. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't afford to look at an Alfa Romero, let alone paint one. So it's just a lot of fun, and it's something that brings a little bit more normalcy. So let's go around real quick and tell everyone what we're kind of missing about, you know, pre-pandemic life and kind of what we're looking forward to once everything gets back to normal. Caitlin?
Thing I'm missing most, and there's quite a few things that I'm missing, to be honest. I feel like you guys probably feel the same way, but mine would probably be like live events, like being able to go and see an artist sing and be around people that are also singing with them. And I feel like concerts, you know, that's something that we're not really going to have for probably a while. So I know that they're making a few changes. There's some drive-in concerts and stuff, so that's kind of nice. But I do really miss the real thing and being there, being present.
What about you, Amna?
Honestly, sporting events, I did not take advantage of that enough as a fan when we were able to, and now I'm just missing being in the crowd and being so enamored with the crazy play or something like that. I can't wait to get back.
To be honest, I miss like the hustle and bustle of being just around people and people watching, and especially when you're in like busy areas, like, I don't know, an airport, or just seeing everything and being able to talk to people and not have to worry about social distancing. I miss seeing all your pretty faces out there. So yeah, we're really looking forward to getting back to a little bit of normalcy, hopefully with the vaccine. But I guess that's all we have for this edition of Reporter Roundtable. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us.
Santa Claus, Arizona was once a popular Christmas-themed tourist attraction. It's been deserted for some time now, but with Christmas just 1 week away, Cronkite News reporter Amna Subhan drove out there to see what remains today.
Alrighty, welcome to this Cronkite News vlog. Today we'll be exploring Santa Claus, Arizona.
It was always Christmas at Santa Claus.
Santa Claus was founded in the 1930s as a tourist stop on your way toward Vegas on Highway 93, just a few miles outside Kingman. But today it stands as a ghost town, with definitely more rattlesnakes than people, so let's check it out. Santa Claus, we're coming to town. You can see behind me the couple of buildings here. This place was founded in the 1930s by a woman named Nina Talbot and her husband, who moved here from Southern California. They bought about 10 acres of land here and set up a tourist attraction for Christmas year-round in the desert. To really understand the history, I spoke to Arizona State historian Marshall Trimble.
But they built this village called Santa Claus, and it was about, I think it was 4 buildings. And the main one was the dining room called the Christmas Tree Inn. And then, and it was all decorated with, it had Santa Claus up in the chimney. If you look at old pictures, you see Santa Claus up on the chimney. And it was like snow everywhere. And let me tell you, that's the driest part of the country you'll ever see.
Interesting that Trimble grew up in Mojave County just like I did, although he was able to see the heyday of this. Meanwhile, I've done this drive upwards of hundreds of times and never noticed it once. So what turned this tiny little attraction into a ghost town? Well, according to Trimble, Talbot was a rampant gambler, and any money that was made here, she went and spent over in Las Vegas, which is about 100 miles that way.
It's kind of sad to see it, because I remember when it was just, everybody talked about it. You couldn't drive to Vegas without mentioning it or stopping and seeing it.
In Santa Claus on this pond, Cronkite News.
The holiday luster wore off in the 1960s, and the property sold in the 90s. It's up again for sale today, if anyone decides they want to revive the Christmas spirit. Coming up on Cronkite News, undocumented students in Arizona struggle to pay even a discounted tuition rate at the state's 3 public universities. We take a look at how these students are gaining access to higher education. And on Break It Down, how journalists tackle fake news.
Ready to watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere, on nearly any device? It's easy with the free PBS Video app. Simply download the PBS Video app on your mobile or streaming device. Now you can watch the latest PBS episodes or catch up on the shows you missed. And when you support your local station, you can get PBS Passport, giving you access to more episodes, more specials, more of what you love. Ready to watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere, on nearly any device? It's easy with the free PBS Video app. Simply download the PBS Video app on your mobile or streaming device. Now you can watch the latest PBS episodes or catch up on the shows you missed. And when you support your local station, you can get PBS Passport, giving you access to more episodes, more specials, more of what you love.
Hey, I'm Rick Steves. You know, I don't go anywhere without my passport. And now, thanks to PBS Passport, you can travel with me and watch all 10 seasons of Rick Steves Europe and all my travel specials. This exclusive streaming service is just for our members. Not only can you see all my shows, but you can see thousands of hours of your favorite public television shows. Become a member today and get your passport.
There's never been a more important time to make sure facts and the truth are driving conversation. Washington Week is an island of civil discourse in a chaotic media environment. On Friday nights, we gather the best reporters in the nation to unpack what's really happening and have a conversation that's not about point of view, but about informing the American people.
Washington Week.
All new, Friday night at 7 on Arizona PBS.
And welcome to Cronkite News Refresh on Arizona PBS.
Well, the dry spell has ended. Rain finally fell over the valley last night.
Here's what's trending today.
I'm with Sarandon and Amna.
Good evening, and welcome to Cronkite News Refresh on Arizona PBS.
Undocumented students in Arizona struggle to pay even a discounted tuition rate at the 3 state universities. Cronkite News reporter Kylie Cochran explains how these students are gaining access to higher education and how a lawsuit may indirectly help them pay for tuition.
I questioned that a lot, like freshman and sophomore year. I was questioning why I was going through college, knowing that it would be very difficult for me to get a job.
Getting a job is on the mind of most college students, including Juan Cisneros, a sophomore majoring in computer science at Benedictine University in Mesa.
And I realized the career path I really like is very neat because there are some companies that are willing to hire people like me.
Cisneros is one of an estimated 9,000 undocumented college students in Arizona out of 454,000 nationwide, according to a New American Economy report. That is 2% of the state's student population. He says he moved to Arizona from Mexico when he was 7. and grew up in Arizona's K-12 system.
We cannot be in the classroom encouraging students, if you do X, Y, and Z, if you do all of these things, you're gonna be successful and you're gonna go to college.
Reina Montoya is a DACA recipient and the founder of Aliento, a group that advocates for undocumented youth.
We're technically lying and deceiving our students if we're not providing the specific pathways that they can follow.
Proposition 300 passed by Arizona voters in 2006 and prevents undocumented Arizona students from getting in-state tuition. 14 years later, options remain largely the same. In 2019, public universities did change their policies to offer non-residents who graduated from Arizona high schools a cheaper rate at 150% of the in-state tuition price. But without opportunities for state financial aid, it wasn't enough for students like Cisneros.
Choosing a private university gave me more benefits because that means that I can actually get a scholarship from them.
And undocumented students are not alone.
It has become even sometimes unattainable for U.S. citizens if they don't qualify for scholarships. So I think that we have that bigger problem.
The Arizona Attorney General has been questioning the cost of public universities in a 3-year legal battle against the Arizona Board of Regents. According to immigration attorney Daniel Rodriguez, the argument is based on Arizona's constitution.
When they put in the constitution that state public colleges in Arizona are to be as nearly free as possible, they meant that because they wanted everyone in the state to have access to an affordable education for the good of the state.
If the Arizona Supreme Court rules in the Attorney General's favor, undocumented students could be indirectly benefited by tuition decreases for everyone. Despite uncertainty about his finances and his future, Cisneros is pushing forward.
What keeps me moving a lot of the time is just thinking about how much my mom really gave up just for us to come here.
Kylie Cochran, Cronkite News.
The Arizona Board of Regents released a statement after the oral arguments disputing the Attorney General's authority on this issue. At this time, the case is under review and awaiting a decision.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.